court right now. News 2's Colby Thielen is joining us now just outside of the courthouse with the very latest. Colby, you just stepped out of the courtroom. What's been happening so far?
Hey, good morning. Well, lots of different motions were filed in here this morning that were talked about. I'm going to kind of give you the brief points. I just walked out of the courtroom, so I'm going to kind of summarize exactly some of the bigger points that were talked about. The first one, the defense filed a motion to dismiss the indictment charges based on double jeopardy. Their basis for this was simply saying that the state and the federal government were sort of linked in a way. They said that the term they used were tag teaming. So they said that by the state trial dragging out, they said that a federal trial on top of that was a way of dragging this out and making it really a wearing situation on the defendants. So they tried to have it dropped based on double jeopardy. The case there, they argued for the Constitution, not based on previous precedent, so the judge denied it. The other big point that they wanted to talk about, and they actually brought Solicitor Scarlett Wilson to the stand, they wanted to talk about the issue of a discrepancy, what the defense believed was a discrepancy in the testimony of the man who shot the cell phone video, Faden Santana. And basically what they were talking about was that Santana on the stand said that he arrived here in Charleston a week before the trial, but papers later showed that Santana actually arrived here a month before that. So what they were requesting was all the documents from the federal government showing that that was the case. Now, the federal government said that they were going to deny handing those over because they didn't fall under the precedent that was previously stated in court cases. Now, those statements essentially argue that any evidence that might be essential to the case be turned over by the prosecution. They argued that that was not under that jurisdiction. So the judge eventually said at the end of this statement that any evidence that they believed didn't need to be turned over to the defense would be turned over to the judge. And then at that point, the judge could decide whether or not that was turned over to the defense. And finally, I want to go through a couple of different motions that were filed. Essentially, they were arguing for different phrases that they didn't want used in court. They didn't want the words victim used in court. They talked about Walter Scott's suffering. They didn't want that mentioned in court. Essentially, all of those were denied by the judge. And finally, the last person that was on the stand just before they took a break was Michael Slager himself. And the argument there was that with his previous attorney, Mr. Ayler, that he was induced into testifying against making a statement to SLED against his will. Right now, he is comparing those statements. He took a few minutes to read them. So when court continues here in the next 20 to 30 minutes, what they're going to be talking about is the difference between those SLED statements. So guys, a lot of stuff happening here this morning, but we're going to have it broken down and a little bit more concise coming up a little bit later, coming up tonight. But essentially what happened this morning, a lot of different motions filed, most of them denied by the judge, but there is always the opportunity, he said, to object when that federal hearing comes around. Live in downtown Charleston, Colby Thielen, News 2.